Some prominent Nigerians from various fields in the country gathered at a public lecture and founders forum with the theme "In the National Interest," reflecting on the past, reimagining the future. A parley jointly organized by the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, NESG, and the Lagos Business School to kickstart activities for the 30th Nigerian Economic Summit 2024. The call was for a deeper reflection of the nation's past, present, and future, with a determination to right the wrongs and diversify the economy for better results. In his remarks, Chairman of NESG Advisory Board, Dr. Pascal Dozier, who was represented by NESG Board Director Frank Aibogun, said there's no aspect of reflection about Nigeria that has not been done before, noting that yesterday is gone with all its triumphs and tragedies, and that the present generation can only learn from the past but not relive it.
Yesterday is gone with all its triumphs and tragedies. Yes, we can learn from it, but we cannot relive it. Economic reimagining. Beyond the usual sloganeering, how do we truly diversify Nigeria's economy, reduce dependence on oil? Environmental reimagining. How do we develop sustainable agriculture and food security? How do we promote sustainable practices and renewable energy? How do we encourage ecotourism and environmental preservation? It seems to me that the private sector is no longer as collectively effective as it once was in driving national development agenda, and it is a task before the NESG today. I suggest that if the NESG community leads from the front in not only providing actionable answers to these questions in the next several years, but also making sacrifices to ensure that they are implemented, it definitely will be showing the light in the quest for reimagining ourselves and the fatherland. As business leaders, we must not be keeping watch and looking out for our business interests only. We must, in words and deeds, become stewards of the national interest. Let us always remember that a rising tide lifts all boats. The task is Herculean, but I believe the Nigerian Economic Summit Group can do it.
Managing Partner, Compliance Professionals PLC, Mrs. Ifweko Omoigo Okauru, stated that the gathering was not just a celebration, but a reflection on 3 decades of transformative dialogue and economic reform facilitated by the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, NESG.
The thing about the corruption that maybe we're discussing then, which is different from the corruption we're discussing now, is that it has permeated every single strand of society. When I tell people I'm shocked that people pay people to do their exams for them, they're looking at me. In fact, when I have a meeting with youth couples, they say, "Madam, it's normal." So now I see why it's difficult to recruit people. People are still struggling not to be called as people that are forbidden in today's Nigeria. Where do we start? And my challenge to NESG as we go to the public engagement, and I know this has been talked of in so many different forms, how can we build policy? Not policy that is imposed, but policy that reflects the reality of who we are. An example is the use of technology. Uber just popped into the air to disrupt an environment. Nobody is thinking whether the person that developed Uber is from Edo State or Niger or Germany or whatever. They use it. So how can we recognize that we have all these issues, but lay on top of it something that everyone is galvanized on, and have policy that is not repeated what other people have done? Because even those countries that have done well, they've done that recognizing their unique characteristics. We are a complex country. We are divided by age, fact. We are divided by ethnic group, fact. We are divided by religion, fact. Even in the Christianity, we are divided in the Christianity, fact. It's not about changing that and hoping that we'll create a country that doesn't have that. It's about how do we now recognize and not deceive ourselves that we are building a country for some other person, but build a country recognizing all these factors, galvanizing all of us, so that someday when we ask ChatGPT, name the fastest growing breakthrough in this world, guess what ChatGPT says? Nigeria, without a doubt.
Chairman of the Board of Directors of NESG, Mr. Niyi Yusuf, in his speech, emphasized the pivotal role of the annual Nigerian Economic Summit in the NESG's advocacy efforts. He said the summit is a significant milestone in Nigeria's journey of progress and impact. On his spot, Pioneer Board member of NESG, Dr. Imo Isueli, stated that Nigeria has gone through a lot of difficulties, culminating in various deficits, which led to the formation of the NESG, which has transformed to become foremost platform for dialogue and transformational economic change. The executive governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, stated that the theme of the event invites every Nigerian to look backwards and then cast a gaze into the future, connecting what was left behind with what is to come.
NES and NESG prioritizes the principles of collaboration and how you have established functional models that any organization seeking to build multi-stakeholder alliance must emulate. I think that there is an opportunity here for you to do even more as champions of the gospel of a collaborative Nigeria. One of the ideas that the public sector needs to improve on, especially internally, is synergy, having various actors on the same page, overcoming what I call silos impulse to pursue a collective agenda of service and benefit to the citizens. I think NESG can scale up its relevance and we'll all work with you at achieving this. I would therefore like to touch on the linkage between policy work and public consciousness. The more an organization is able to connect with the general public, the greater its effectiveness. This is why I think NES should explore ways of deepening the public-facing side of its work. I'm pleased to know that you have recently launched a podcast that allows for engaging conversation with experts as one of the ways to bring your work to new audiences. And when I say new audiences, you know the people I'm talking about. We need to carry all of them along. I encourage more efforts in this regard, taking advantage of digital technology so that more Nigerians can see not just work that you do, but also how that work contributes to improving the quality of their lives and livelihood.
The NESG continues to drive reforms through rigorous research, economic and social programs, all aimed at shaping the socio-economic development of our nation. The Lagos State Ministry of Tertiary Education, led by its Commissioner, Mr. Tolani Sule, unveiled a special scholarship for people with disabilities and indigent students in state-owned tertiary institutions. He said this was in alignment with the Themes Plus agenda of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, which prioritized inclusive development. This was at the ministerial briefing of the Ministry of Tertiary Education, which held in Ikeja. During the 2024 ministerial briefing, the commissioner revealed that the state government has disbursed 849,555,000 naira in scholarships and bursaries to 10,066 students in its tertiary institutions. The commissioner said, "I am proud to unveil the Special Scholarship for Inclusion. This initiative is designed to support people living with disabilities and the multidimensionally poor, empowering them to pursue their educational aspirations and contribute meaningfully to society."
Reason for scholarship. The first reason is providing assistance to parents and the students that we have discovered we don't want to say conventionally poor. Those that are indigent, thank you, let me use the word. That's the correct word. Regardless of the programs you are running, some of the people that are willing have fell out because of little financial requirements. So if we are giving so large number of scholarship to people, definitely those that are receiving it, they know the value that is in it. And the government will know the impact that is making. What is the impact? That when you are in school, there is specific fund you are expecting every year that can make for your textbooks, that can make for some other sundry expenses that will promote learning.
The commissioner reiterated that the Special Scholarship for Inclusion extends beyond Lagos State indigenes. It encompasses all residents enrolled in Lagos State-owned tertiary institutions, irrespective of their states of origin.
You are too sure that by so period of time as somebody who is enjoying scholarship from Lagos State, Magba 445, you can prepare yourself that this year I will buy my laptop. These are things that promote education, that promote schooling. Somebody may miss out of school because of laptop. It's a condition in the legal school now. What is it called? Law school, that you must come with a laptop. So I know the medical students, they are equally required to have such a gadget. This type of fund provided could be a source of provision for all these kind of things. There is no way the volume of what we give as scholarship will not have impact on whoever that is given. The age of entry into university, this is a national policy. It is not determined by individual university. Before this new pronouncement, it is 16 years in Nigeria. The minimum age is 16 years. Even LASU is so strict, and to some extent, we could say they are over strict about it. To the extent that if it is just one day, I have tried to intervene in so many complaints. We are just one day. If you miss it on the date of October what? First. If you are not 16 years that day, if you are 16 years the second day, LASU will not take you.
Mr. Gbenga Omotosho, the Commissioner for Information and Strategy, reiterated on government's commitment to upgrade and make education affordable in the state. The Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration's dedication to education development has continuously showcased the Themes Plus agenda as Lagos State-owned tertiary institutions has maintained operational continuity, abstaining from strikes observed in other institutions.